All right, what up, outdoor fam? So, as y'all have seen, we have been doing some hunting lately in our videos. So we've gone for squirrel, we went for deer, which I will be sure to link that hunting video in the description. So we did bring a deer home. We have a video where we actually did the backstrap and some of the sirloin just to try it out because I could not wait. I wanted to try it so bad. So we'll be able to link those two in there. Today's a little bit different. Today, my husband Chewy's going to go ahead and make birria with deer meat, obviously. So we are going to bring you all along for that, show you how we make it, show you how it turns out, how we eat it. We usually end up either eating it with the consommé or the broth in the bowl. Oddly enough, I can only remember how to say broth in Spanish for some reason. But yeah, so we either eat it like in a soup fashion in a bowl with tortillas on the side, or we'll take the meat out and chop it up and make tacos out of the meat. Because it just comes out so tender that way, you guys, and all the flavors in there. So we're going to show you how we're going to put this thing together and bring you all along for that. So I will see you in a bit for an update.
Okay guys, so first of all, I already have the pot turned on. It's filled up to this with water. I already have some of the meat in there. This is the rest of the meat that we have here. It's just from one of the back legs, I believe. I'm going to throw the bone in there. I did take most of the meat off of there. Most of the meat off of this, but I do cook it with the bone because I think it gives it more flavor. This is just part of the meat that came out of there. We have the heart and we have the liver. This is basically all of the meat that's in there right now. So we're going to clean this up and make it for something else. But all of this meat is basically what's in there and what's in the pot.
Plus the heart and liver.
Plus the heart and liver. So we're going to get started with that. Like I said, I already have some meat in there. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my meat. If I have to, I'll add more water. I don't know yet, but once you start adding a lot of meat, the water level starts getting higher. This is probably going to take, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 hours before it's nice and tender and I can add my sauce to it. If you guys ever had barbacoa, or if you had birria, you know that it has like a reddish broth. So that's what this is going to turn out to be once we get all that stuff in there. And along with the meat, I'm going to add a whole onion cut in half. And I'm going to add 2 heads of garlic. You can put it with husks and all, doesn't matter. This one's fell out of it, so I'm just going to add those to it. We're also going to use some bay leaves. This is where the flavor comes from.
Mm-hmm.
You can smell it, you can taste it as soon as it's cooking. So add as many as you want, as little as you want, but I'm telling you, it's good with a lot of it in there. And salt.
Good old salt.
Don't be scared to put salt in there. It's a lot of broth. It's
a lot of water.
Meat. So
yep.
Don't be scared. You can always add some more later, I guess. But. And then I need a spoon to mix it all around. Alright guys, so now I'm just going to give it a mix. Give it a stir. We got most of the stuff in there. I still got to add cloves and pepper, but I have to go ahead and mash those up separately and then throw them in there. But for right now, that's what we're putting in there, and I'll show you guys how I do it. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and add some cloves. You can get them at the Mexican market, you can get them at Walmart, you can get them everywhere. It's basically just whole cloves. And this gives it a lot of flavor too. You can use as little as much as you want. My mom does. I get my recipes from my mom. My food tastes really good, but nowhere near as good as what my mom makes. And then this is whole black pepper, which we're also going to use. So we're also going to use some of that. I don't know if it makes a difference if you put them in there whole or not. My mom just tells me to go ahead and use this. It's called a molcajete. And then you just go ahead and grind them. I don't know if using the blender makes any difference, but according to my mom and my dad, it's a lot better when you do it like. Can you smell that? Oh my god.
Yeah, it smells really good.
Oh god. So they always tell me to use this mortar and then add it to the birria. And like I said, to me, I don't know if there's a difference, but I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna try to find out. Everything she makes is delicious. So if she tells me to put dirt in it, I'm gonna put dirt in it. As long as it tastes like she does it, I tell that to Kelly all the time. If my mom tells you to put something in whatever recipe,
like a piece of bread,
or some crackers or whatever, and you think it's weird, don't question it. Just add it. Anyway, so now it's just like it's like a powder. We're gonna go ahead and put it in there. Now, you're not really supposed to get these things too wet, but I'm still gonna do it just to get the remaining
ingredients out
of there. Okay, we'll add it to that. We can clean this out later. And I'm just gonna go ahead and give it another stir. And while this thing cooks, I'm gonna go ahead and process the rest of the deer meat that we have. We still have the front legs and one more back leg. We still don't know how we're going to cook the rest of it, so maybe we'll make a roast one day, or we'll see. But for now, we still got to process the meat. I'll show you guys later how to make the sauce. So, because we still got to fry the peppers, the dry California peppers. Kind of fry them a little bit and then soak them in water until they get really soft. When the meat is nice and tender, we'll go ahead and boil those peppers with garlic and salt and add it to. We're going to run it through a strainer, but we're going to add it to the birria. So see you guys in a bit.
So while Chewy's cleaning up the rest of that meat and getting it all situated, I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting the peppers fried for him. So we use California chili pods, or chili California. If you don't have these, if you can't find these, sometimes we used to have a hard time finding them, but we finally found some places that had them. But if they don't, you can also use guajillo, or even the Japanese ones, but they'll just be a little bit spicier than these. We use these ones because this is what Chewy's mom has always used. So we got a little bit of grease in this pan. Let me put these over here. So I got the grease nice and hot now. Hopefully it's hot enough. So we're gonna go ahead and put these in here and let those fry. You don't want them black because then they get very bitter when they get burnt. But you do want them to turn like a brownish reddish color. And you can smell it when you burn them real quickly, believe me. And then you're just gonna throw them into the water there, and we're gonna let them soak. And I think we're doing about 15 to 20 of these peppers. Ooh! Woo! Shots fired, guys. Yeah, be careful. These the seeds, whenever the seeds come out, they do like to pop in the pan.
Well, you're supposed to take the seeds out before you fry them. But...
Ow.
But it's okay.
So yeah, as I was saying before, I was popped in the face by a pepper.
Oh, it smells so good.
We're gonna do like 15 to 20 of these for this big old pot here. And then these will get blended with the rest of the ingredients later on, guys, okay? So I'm just gonna fry the rest of these. And then, as I said, we are throwing them in this water here.
I wish we had smell-o-vision. The pepper smells so good on the front.
I don't. If I could get money every time I said, I wish we had smell-o-vision on these videos, I'd be rich.
Oh, we need to find the other pepper so we can make a chili aceite too. Since we have the hot oil. Okay, so I blended the peppers with water and a little garlic. Now I'm going to use this strainer to go ahead and strain the red sauce. The meat's been cooking for about 2.5 hours. It's not all the way tender yet, but it is very tender right now. It's going to get more tender as we cook it. So now I'm just going to add all this sauce to it, and in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half after I put the sauce in there, I'm going to check it again, and it should be pretty close to being done. Again, these peppers are not spicy, but they do have a lot of flavor. They are very flavorful. Then I also have in another small pot, you probably can't see it from there, but I have some serrano peppers, some tomatoes, garlic and onion. I boil them, and I'm going to make a salsa to go with the birria. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish straining this sauce. I'm going to strain the rest of it. And then, like I said, in about an hour, hour and a half, I'm going to check it again. And hopefully it's done by that time. I know from what people tell me, deer tends to be a little tough. But I'm hoping all this boiling should make it nice and tender. So I'll see you guys in a little bit when I'm done with the cooking process.
All right, guys. So he's at it again. So now everything's been cooked. Where's that spoon at?
I got most of the meat out already.
Oh, you got the meat. Well, he took most of the meat out because he's making quesadillas. But, oh my gosh, you guys, it is so good. So then we just either eat it in a bowl with broth, make tacos out of it. He's making quesadillas. They're basically like quesadillas on steroids. And they are delicious. So I will see y'all in a little bit when we sit down to try this, all right? All right, guys, we have everything put together. I'm just going to put some chili in here. I put a little too much last time, so I'm going to hold it back on that. So I got my quesadillas here. I have my birria over here with deer meat. And so it's got the broth. The broth alone, you guys, could probably heal the dead. Oh my gosh. So it literally tastes the same as it would with beef pretty much. Even though I was thinking it would taste more similar to goat, but it really doesn't. It tastes more beefy to me and flavor-wise than goat. So you got this, or some people take the meat out and chop it up and they put it in tortillas for tacos. But we like to put the tacos up a notch, and so we do quesadillas. So this has all kinds of cheesy and meat goodness. So you can open it a little bit. You can put a little bit of salsa in there. And then you can put onions and cilantro in there if you want. I'm not going to because I have it in my broth.
I want to. I want to.
You want to what?
I need a spoon.
Hold on.
So good. Not a bad way to cook your deer at all. So if you guys have any favorite meals that you guys like to make with deer meat, let us know in the comments, guys. Any ideas that you have for us to make with deer meat in the future, let us know in the comments. So guys, as always, that's going to be the end of our birria making out of our deer meat. So as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tight lines, guys, and keep them locked and loaded. See you next time.